Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning, dear students. In the series of organizational behavior lecture, today we're discussing about the scope and importance of organizational behavior, which is our second lectures. I hope that everybody is fine and healthy along with your daily life's activity, and may you all be and your family protected from all sort of evils and all sort of bad catastrophics and pandemic of present time. Since I'm going to remind once again that I'm delivering the online lecture, if you're facing with any sort of problems in regard to the lectures, kindly note it and remind me, contact me on time that I could help you on the spot or on time to resolve the problems, because online lecture have its own challenges and difficulties. Anyhow, since it is the time of pandemic, physical classes are not allowed, so to transfer this knowledge into your doorstep, and we do not waste our time by waiting to physical classes. It is also a sort of learning. It is also a sort of education that could pave the way in order to solve your problems and to get something, even if you are at home or anywhere else. Though it might be having difficulties and challenges and problems you might be facing with, but I am here just to solve your problems. My WhatsApp number is on the first slide. You can have it from there. Since we discussed in previous lecture about the organizational behavior, just for the only revisions and just for the recalling of the previous lectures, I put there two more definition of organizational behaviors. So organizational behavior is a systematic study of the actions and attitudes that people shows or exhibits within an organizations. So the actions or the attitudes or the behavior that we and all other peoples are exhibiting and exposing within organization, what behavior they are showing, if that is good and bad, worse and better, such behaviors are being discussed by the subject of organizational behavior or OB within the context of organizations. And secondly, we define that organizational behavior is the study and application of knowledge about how peoples and individual or groups act in organizations, which is defined by Alam Prasad. So it almost study about the human behavior in workplace. For example, if I want to understand my boss personality, my boss behavior, so I would be examining, I would be checking the individual level of analysis, because I'm only checking and examining my boss personality, so it is individual analysis. If I want to know about how my manager personality affects my team, so it means that I'm examining the things as the team level, because more than one person now, after boss is a manager, so it comes in a take a second person. So it means here I'm just examining at the team level my examining my boss and my manager behavior. So this is what on the level of team analysis. But if I want to examine or if I want to understand how my organization culture affects my boss behavior, so it means that I would be interested in organization level of analysis. So it means on individual basis you are studying the boss behavior and personality, and then second you are examining your manager and team behaviors and personalities, and then you are studying and examining the effects of the team on the behavior of boss. This is organizational level of analysis. So it is all called about the organizational behaviors. Hope the definition is clear. Now I'm going to go for the second portion of that, which is the scope and importance of organizational behavior. So why it is so much important to know about the organization's behavior. Since again I'm going to tell you that OB, or organization behavior, is the field of study which is investigating the impact and that individual, that groups in that structure, how have their impact, how they have this impact on behavior or on the behavior of individual within the organizations. So why we are studying organizational behavior? Just to understand the organizational life. The importance of organizational behavior is studying of this subject is just to understand the organizational life. So what does it means that the organizational life, to understand organizational life, what does it mean to us? It means that different people work differently in different situations. Now organizational behavior will help us to understand and predict the behavior of these people. So many people are working in the organizations. So if you would like to know about the life of organization, that how it goes ahead, so many people are working there with the different behaviors. So understanding of the different behavior within that context of the organization, that is one importance of the organizational behaviors. And organizational behavior provide as a roadmap to our lives in organization. So map is something that is drawn on a piece of paper that is showing you the exact directions to achieve your goals or to go to your destinations. So organizational behavior, it is sort of a map, a road map. It is a sort of a direction to us. It's sort of exact destination to where we have to go and achieve our organizational goals. So it provides us a roadmap to our lives in the organization, that how to behave in the organization in variety of the situations in different conditions. That how to adjust ourselves in different sort of the conditions in the organization. It shows that. Secondly, it helps to influence the organizational events, to understand and predict the events. And thirdly, it helps individual understand herself or himself in better fashions. We first have to know ourselves, and secondly to understand the others in a very better way, because we are distinctive in behavior with each other. So then understanding of each other quite important for us to know. So such important things that we are learning in regard to the behavior of each other in the organizations, about the instructions. So that is another important things that is being put forward in the subject of organizational behaviors, that we are learning the things in a proper way. As well as it is helping the manager to manage human resources effectively. So that manager, it's helping all the managers or those that they are responsible for the activity of their team members. So manager is using this tool as a tool of management, just to effectively manage their human resources in the organizations, and better result has come out because of the management of the employee by the manager. So it is helping the manager that to use your human resources in right way, in right directions, in the right paths, that finally you achieve your organizational goals. So for that purpose, the motivation processes is taking place by the manager. They motivate their employees in every regards, fulfilling their needs, and finally the employees are happy, so their behaviors are positive in the organization. Finally the result will come out. And another thing that is importance of this subject is it is useful in the field of marketing. Definitely, if you would like to change the behavior of your employee and customer, just to get your product to be bought by them, so we do nothing. like the salesman is not selling the product, but they are only encouraging and motivating the customers just to buy the products. So that is why understanding of your customer behaviors, understanding of your consumer behaviors, and the behavior of people in the markets, it will help us in a very important way in the field of marketing to just achieve our targets. Organization behavior uses scientific research to understand and make organizations. Since you know that research is the foundation of success and development in the society as well as in every organizations. So any organization that is having scientific research in their field of study and their field of work, so definitely they are achieving their targets and they might be having a very high productivity and efficiency level will always be high enough. Now this research will help us to know the behavior of individuals in society, to know the behavior of groups and dynamic groups in the organizations. So understanding of such things is by doing the research, because everything does not come automatically to our face and to our life, but it comes based on our efforts and based on the research. So scientifically, organizational behavior, we are using this just to understand the organization, that how the organization is going to develop in those organizations that is well known and famous around the world and is known to the large number of people in population around the world. How is it possible that a company is just being established in Switzerland and Canada, but that same company is being, the product of that same company is being used in Afghanistan? Now somewhere else the company exists, but the product exists in Afghanistan, it have a value demands. Now scientifically it has been researched that to understand the organization in a well positions, for that reason importance of this subject is very important, because we know the behavior of each other, and it also helps an individual to understand himself and others in a better way. موږ سره په دې کې همکاري کولای شي چې موږ اول خپل ځانو پیژنو، بیا موږ وکولای شو د نورو تفکیک وکولای شو. په ټولنه کې د مختلفو انسانانو رویه او رفتار د هغوی روابط په ټولنه کې د پیژندلو لپاره موږ مجبور یو چې او مکلف یو چې دغه مضمون په هغه اساساتو باندې پوه شو. ځکه دا موږ سره د همکاري کوي تر څو موږ هم ځان وپیژنو او هم نورو پیژنو چې په مختلفو شرایطو مختلفو حالاتو کې موږ څنګه باید د کسټمر یا موږ څنګه په محیط کې باید برخورد وکړو. So at the same time, the manager understand the basis of motivation from subordinate. They will understand that how to motivate their employees in the organizations. It will be successful in maintaining accord and marketing industrial relationships, as well as it is helping or giving an abilities to manager in order to motivate his subordinate toward a higher productivity and better result. How the better result will come in the organizations, it all depends upon the motivation tool of management of the manager. If manager is having a very rush behavior and employees are not happy with it, so definitely the value of employees are not kept there, employee will be disappointed, they will not be energetic, they will not be motivated, and they will not work well in the organization, and finally the productivity level will come down. But if the manager is using this tool as a management just to control the behavior of their employee in the organizations, get them motivated, give them energy and inspire them, so finally a better result will come because of this subject is only focusing about how to make a better environment in order to invest a good behavior within the employee in the organizations to have a better result. At the same time, the most popular reason to study organization's behavior is if one wants to pursue career in management. Almost in the management, the more the things that we need to have the work done by others. Now, how the work is done efficiently and effectively by others, it requires a motivational tools. So for that motivational tools, we have to change the behavior of our employee within organizations, just to make them effective for achievement of our organizational goals. For that reasons, if anybody want to pursue a career in the field of management, then he have to know about the OB subjects in organizational behavior, that how to do the works by other and proper way. So that's why it needs to know about the behavior of others. Another thing that is very much important about the importance of this subject is better utilization of resources. So, for example, we are running I'm running a very small scale of enterprises, or a very small market. I have many resources in the organizations. Now, how to better utilize this resources in the organizations, or for example, I'm having a shop, or just I'm having a manufacturing company, or I'm having a supermarket in which I have the resources. How to utilize better these resources? Many employees might be working with me. They might be part of my organization, and I am the part of their organization. Now, how to effectively utilize the resources in the organizations, that to get a maximum profits and get a maximum efficiency from the work of your employee. Then for understanding of their behavior is very much important. Then finally the resources will be better utilized. Efficiency and effectiveness is another important thing in case of the our organization subjects and organization behaviors. Then how could our employee work better in the environment, within organization context, that they could do more things in less time, and with less resources they have maximum profit. So that efficiency and that effectiveness is very much important, and such things is being obtained and attained by having a good relations in the organization with the employees. And employee motivation, as you know, that motivation is the important tools of management. If there is no motivation in the organizations for the employees, so surely employee would not be motivated, they would not be inspired, and they would not be energetic to do more works for the achievement of organizational goal. So that is why it is very much important, because this subject is just to know about and understand about your behavior and the behavior of others within organizations. For that, we also sometimes, not sometimes, but always we need a device, is a tool, that is a motivation which is required for the attaining of the organizational goals. So it helps in employee motivations, and at the same time, skill improvement will take place. Skill improvement. The skill of employee would improve, because everybody will work hard, and they will at most they will use their efficiencies and their energy for the improvement of work inside the organization, because they are always being motivated by the boss and manager in the organizations, and their behavior of being kept under the observations that our employees are happy, they don't have any problems, so their all problems are resolved, they are motivated, they are working well. So finally, doing something better for the skill enhancement of the employee, for example, providing the training, giving some sort of directions, and providing some other sort of facility that improve their skills. So this is another importance of this subject. At the same time, which is repeatedly have been put this slide, like employee motivation. Previously, this point is discussed. Understand the nature of employee. So surely, if employees are working with you in the organization, we have to know about their natures. We have to know about their moods. We have to know about their like and dislikes. We have to know about the motivational factors and demotivational factors about the employees. As well as efficiency and effectiveness. Previously we discussed about this slide as well, and better environment of organizations. It helps us just to make a very better environment in the organization, that at least we could do better for the employee, and finally they achieve our goals. So this goes in one direction in 3 points, that is, for example, individual effectiveness will goes to the If individuals are effective in their works and they are showing their efficiency and effectiveness in their works, so finally it means that individuals are effective. Then we are discussing about the second point in the organizational behavior, which is very much important, that is group effectiveness. It means individual and groups are playing their roles positively and they are working very hard and optimistically. They are working hard just to achieve their targets as a group, as a teamwork. So that is a group effectiveness. Finally, this group effectiveness will leads to the organizational attainment of common goals of organization, that is organizational effectiveness. So individuals are working very well, groups are performing very well. So as a whole, the productivity levels and the efficiency and the enhancement in the level of management of the organizations in regard to their productions or services to the society will enhance and improve. And finally, the organizational goals will be achieved by the management, by the staff management, and finally the organizational effectiveness will be exposed to outside as well as to inside those who are working in particular organizations. So individual effectiveness is leading to group effectiveness and group effectiveness is leading to organizational effectiveness. کچیر ته فرد مفید نه وي خپل کارونه په ښه شکل سره نه ترسره کوي د هغه بیهیویر مثبت نه وي نو دغه فرد یو فرد دوه فرد د دین افراد جوړیږي که چېرته به د افرادو بیهیویر درست نه وي دوی په ښه سم باندې په ښه سمت روان نه وي مثبت طرف ته روان نه وي نو د دې افیکټیونیس راځي په ارګنایزیشنل افیکټیونیس باندې اثر کوي چې زموږ او تاسو په ارګنایزیشنز کې بیا کوم ښکاره داسې مؤثریت او ګټورتوب نشو لیدلی چې موږ اداره پرمختګ طرف ته راتلې ده ځکه زموږ او تاسو د ادارې پرمختګ زموږ او تاسو په فردي او په ګروپي پرمختګ پورې تړلې ده که فرد په اداره کې کار کوي درست نه وي ګروپ په اداره کې کار کوي درست نه وي نو طبعا ارګنایزیشنل ګولز چې زموږ او تاسو ځان ته سیټ کړي دي هغه لاسته نشو راوړلی نو په اوورال کې د یو سازمان یو د ادارې کامیابي چې ده دا په فردي او په ګروپي انفرادي کې نغښتې ده نو په دې اساس باندې موږ باید د امپلایي سره داسې سلوک وکړو د کارمندانو سره په اداره کې داسې سلوک وکړو چې د هغوی ټول هغه ارزښتونه موږ په نظر کې نیولي وي دینی ارزښتونه د هغوی لساني ارزښتونه د هغوی اجتماعي ټولنیز ارزښتونه موږ دا ټول په نظر کې نیولي د هغوی ضرورتونه موږ پوره کړي وي نو بیا هغوی په ښه شکل سره په اداره کې کار کوي چې د هغوی د ښه کار کولو په نتیجه کې موږ تاسو د ادارې اهداف لاسته راځي او بالاخره موږ تاسو د ادارې مفیدیت یا ارګنایزیشنل افیکټیونیس چې کوم ټارګټ دی هغه ته رسیدلی شو نو په دې اساس باندې د کارمند بیهیویر پیژندل د کارمند د بیهیویر او د سلوک او رفتار پیژندل په هغه باندې ځان پوهول په مختلفو شرایطو کې همدغه د موږ ارګنایزیشنل بیهیویرز وایو Amdaranga maintaining cordial industrial relations, what does it mean? It means helps to improve relation between management and employees. If the relationship of management, whether that is top, middle, lower level management, whatever that is, so if that is good enough with the employee, with the implementation, with the implemented part of the organization, that is the employee, so if that is performing a very good relations, that is the top level is having a very good behavior with the lower level management or with the employee in the organizations, so it means that there has been maintained a very cordial and friendly relationship is existing between the or top level management and lower level management. Finally the goal will be achieved. And vice versa, if the relation of top level management with the employees are not good, it is definitely affecting the behavior of lower level management as well as the employee who are working in organization. Their behavior would be affected and they would not be very fruitful in their works in the organizations. So this is all about the importance of organization's behavior. Now the second point that is we are about is significance or scope of the organizational behaviors. So scope and importance, somehow they are relevant to each other, but anyhow the subject that we are studying today in which practical field of knowledge and this field of study, field of knowledge could be practically used in which environment. So we are talking about its scope. So the scope of organizational behavior, it's having the impact of personality on performance. So the people personality is definitely affecting the performance of employee. For example, employee motivations. If the behavior of top level management where the employees very rush is not in a good way, they are not behaving very well with the employees, so surely the performance of employee will be very low. How we can make and enhance the employee performance very well to prove them that they are effective for the organizations in case of doing very well with them. So it means that our behavior is definitely affecting their personalities, and that personality is affecting the performance of the organizations. So leaderships, mostly the leaders are motivating their followers just to achieve the goals of the leaders. Collectively they are working with each other. So leaderships, for the leader it has been very much important that how to motivate their followers and those that they follow them, how to motivate them, how to change their behaviors in order to achieve the specific determined goals of the leaders. So that is why understanding of this subject will help us to know about some leadership skills, and so through this leadership skills we can do a better leaderships in the organizations, and finally we can have a very better result as well. So how to create effective teams and groups, and study of different organizational structures, individuals' behavior and attitudes and learning, perceptions, designing and development of effective organizations, job design. So it all talks about the organizational scope. For example, I'm working with organizations. Under me there is a team. So maybe 3, 4, 5 persons are working under my commands and under my directions. Now, how to make and create an effective team in groups, that this team in groups go forward and achieve the organizational goals. For achievement of the organizational goal by this team, by this group, we need to have a good leaderships. The good leaderships mean the leader itself is going in a right direction positively, and they are exposing and exhibiting a positive behavior for their followers, and followers is happy, they are motivated, they are energetics, and their demands become just to achieve the leader roles, the leaders' objectives and goals. So understanding of this subject will tell us that how to create an effective teams and groups by understanding of the behavior of each other. Also, its study by the subject of understanding of this subject, it will help us to study different organizational structures, because organizations structures are different in sort of their activity, responsibility and duties. According to their function, it is having a different structure. In each structure, how to develop a better working environment for the employee or those who are engaged in a working process with us. So by understanding of this subject, it will help us just to know different organizational structures and develop organizational strategy for attainment of our goals. It teaches that how to design a job that employees are happy within it, and finally they are working in the job assigned to them. They're happy, they're motivated. The job is not very much complicated, and complexities are not there, that the behavior of employee being affected by the complexity of a job. It means a very simple job is designed for the achievement of the goals of organization. The employees are very simply going forward with that job. So the job should be designed in a very simple way. So by understanding of the behavior of your employee, you have to know that how to just design a job. So impact of organizational culture on organizational behaviors, the management of change, management of conflict and stress, that how to manage the conflict and stress in the organizations in different situations, how to bring changes in your management, at the same times how to develop the organizations, at the same times different peoples are working which are having or that are having a distinctive and unique behavior. So how to understand and develop this organizational structure, that they work as a team member with each other, irregardless of their differences in their languages and even their faith. So how to develop this organizational structures, organizational cultures, and how to resolve the conflict and stress that is arising between the employee and the organizations, and group behavior in politics and power in politics. So understanding of all these things for providing a better environment for the employee and organizations, and finally for attainment and obtaining of the determined goals is possible only by understanding and studying of the subject of organizational behavior, which comes as a very important concept. So that is the scope of organizations. Now there are some other points in regard to the characteristics of organizations behaviors. د organization behaviors بعض مشخصات او ځانګړتیاوې هم شتون لري چې د دې په ځانګړتیاو کې موږ ویلی شو it is always a goal oriented. It means always just following just to achieve their goals in the organizations, because when the organization is just being established from the top level management till the lower level management, or that is in which direct employees are there, so there are individual objectives and there are group objectives or organizational objectives. So individual is having their own goals and organization have their own goals. So all the organizations are being established with the goal oriented. Level of analysis. So different level of analysis take place. So these analysis is taking place because of the effectiveness of the work that is being done in the organizations, and how much productivity has taken place in whether we have been succeeded in our achievement of goals or not. For that reasons, different sort of analysis being taking place to know the behavior of each other in diverse situations. Another thing, it is like a human tool. So we get this point, just we are using this organization or tools, this organization behavior as like a tool, and this tool is taken like a tool of a management, just how we can better achieve the targets. So through the subject of this, it is like a human tool, and through humans resources we are getting maximum profit. Satisfaction of employee needs. All with the organization are trying just to satisfy the needs of their employees, and that is the characteristic of organization behavior. For that reason we are studying the behaviors, and it is a total system approach. There is a humanistic values. It means that positive beliefs about the potential of employees has been there. At the same time, there is a system orientations. It means that all parts of the organization include like structure, technology, and all of them. These people must work together in order to achieve the organizational and individual goals. So that is why we see it's a system orientation. So all parts of the organizations, whether that is a structure, whether that is technology, or the peoples from different background are working together in just achieving they are working in a system and achieving the organizational goals. Experimental learnings. The learner experience in the training environment should be the kind of human problems they encounter in work. So training should not be all theory in lecture. It means that another characteristics of UB subject is that all things take place practically in experimental basis, not just only theory. It means what has been there in lecture and theory that has been implemented in the organization, practically implemented in various situations, just to change the behavior of employee and finally achieve the targets of organizations. So it is a problem solving. Always the subject is working hardly just in a dimension just to identify the problem, in which portion and which segment they are having a problem, weaknesses were there, so that problem and that weakness has been resolved, and finally all teams are going ahead. So problems are identified, data is gathered, corrective action is being taken, progress is assessed, and adjustment in the problem solving process are made as necessary and needed. So change the events if it's required, then they are stimulating and facilitating or and coordinate in order to change, in order to bring changes if it is required. Level of interventions. So problem can occur at one or more level in the organization, so the strategy will require one or more interventions. Characteristics of organization behavior is that, so there is different level of interventions, and might be if the organization many employees are working, so in one stage or in another stage or in one level, in another level, they might be facing sort of problem. So such problem might be identified and assessed, and such problem would be resolved by interventions. Now intervention level is on high level, middle level, lower level. On which level we are intervening, doing an interventions just to solve the issues. So that is why we say the characteristics of organizational behavior, that is level of interventions. Any mango tasu pa halat ki کولای شو په اداره کې د مشکل سره مخ شو. د دې سبجیکټس په پیژندلو سره د دې په مشخصاتو کې یو مشخصات دا دی چې د هر حالت لپاره په هر لیول کې چې کوم مشکل سره مخ کیږو د مشکل د حل لپاره یو ستراتیژي ریکوایرډ دی. هغه د لپاره یو ستراتیژي رامنځته کولای چې په دې لیول کې موږ په دې ستراتیژي د دې مشکل د حل لپاره کولای شو امادګي ونیسو. So this is all about the organizational characteristics of organization behaviors. And one more thing that I'm going to just tell you about, that is the same subject will face with a lot of challenges. So nothing is free of challenges. په دنیا کې هر شی د ځان سره یو د خپل د پرمختګ لپاره کله چې انسان وي که هر څه وي او اداره وي هغه د پرمختګ کوشش کوي. خلک کله کله د یو چیلنج سره مخ کیږي چې هغه چیلنج بیا کله ودی ته خند باندې او په موانعو باندې بدل شي، دوی نشي کولی ګولز لاسته راوړي. نو organization be the present the challenges, they have just to only name names. Globalization to respond, managing diversity, improving the quality and productivity, improving customer services, improving people skills, stimulating innovation and change, working in network organizations, helping employ balance work-life conflicts, creating positive work environment, improving ethical behaviors. So it all comes in the organizational challenges that organization could face with such challenges. At the same time, if they would like to improve the skills of employees, at the same time if they would like to improve the customer services, at the same time if they would like to improve the quality of their products, so at the same time if they are in the organization managing the diversities, and they are just trying to create a positive working environment and bring a very good environment for behaving ethically in a nice condition. And also if they would like to help their employee just to resolve their conflicts within organizations, and stimulating a sort of behavior in the organization that among the employee to innovate and bring changes in the structure of the organization for the development of organization. So all these things are facing with some challenges, and that challenges might become an obstacle for the development of organizations. So every organizations should know about the challenges that they are facing. So the challenges for the subjects of OB are been listed here. So this was our second lectures. May you all understand the lecture well. If you have got any questions, any sort of suggestions, any criticism, so you can put forward your all questions in a voice message, as well as you can put as a text message in my first slide of the organization behavior second lecture of the first slide of the first page. WhatsApp number is 0093 67762 So this is my WhatsApp number. If you have faced with any problems in regard to the lecture, you can text me, you can voice message me. I'm glad to understand your problems, and I'm glad in place to know about your problems, and finally I could help you if I could on the spot. Maybe later on I would resolve your problems. So till the next lectures, Allah Hafiz, wish you all the best. Have a great time. Allah Hafiz.